Okay, everyone. Utilities Committee will come to order. Welcome today. We have a little short work day with a House Concurrent Resolution 5023. But before we do that, we've got a point of personal privilege with Senator Francisco.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have 3 pages with me today from Lawrence High School, and I'll ask them to stand as I call their names. Clara Bodie, Kaylee Gill, and Brendan Simons. We've had a short look at the Southwest PowerPoint website. So we're ready for the meeting. Thank you.
Very good. Welcome to the committee. And today they're going to learn a little bit about the extraordinary gas costs. And what we've got today is House Concurrent Resolution 5023. And to give us a quick brief on this resolution, I'm going to ask our reviser, Nick Myers, to come to the microphone. Nick? And by the way, for anybody watching online, again, I forget to do this every day, but you can go online to ks.gov. Once you get there, you navigate to the committees tab, then to standing committees, Senate, Utilities Committee, and then look for the committee testimony. And in the date box, the current date will highlight, and you can see the testimony. Okay, Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, the legislative website has gotten pretty user-friendly, and there's a lot of information on there. So committee, House Bill 20, or House Concurrent Resolution, I should say, 5023, this states the position that the Kansas legislature denounces any potential price gouging or market manipulation in the natural gas marketplace during the winter storm Uri, that extreme winter weather event last year in February. The resolution notes that during the 2021 legislative session, the legislature took action to alleviate some of those drastic and immediate financial impacts of those price spikes by authorizing certain loan programs to help pay for some upfront and extraordinary utility costs. But the resolution also recognizes that those immediate relief measures will continue to impact Kansans over the next decade or more as those extraordinary costs continue to be passed through to Kansas utility customers and consumers. In addition to those legislative efforts to protect Kansas utility ratepayer interests, the resolution notes that the Kansas Attorney General and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC, possesses certain investigatory powers that could lead to corrective action if those entities find that profiteering or market manipulation occurred in the natural gas marketplace. Both the Attorney General and FERC have announced efforts to investigate these actions, and those investigations are underway. The resolution also supports efforts to protect the interests of Kansas utility ratepayers should any investigation lead to corrective action or a settlement. And if this is passed by both chambers, the Secretary of State would send copies of the resolution to the congressional members from Kansas, the chairperson of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and the Kansas Attorney General. And Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Nick. Committee, any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Committee, we don't have any oral testimony on this, either proponent, neutral, or opponent. We do have proponent written testimony by Lynn Rogers, the Kansas State Treasurer. Very good testimony there. In fact, she points out that there's been $78,409,646 in loans. She also has a list of the, I'm sorry. Don't want to get into that conversation. At any rate, Treasurer Rogers, $78 million, and then it boils down the various loans. Some of these are fairly significant, like Garden City had to borrow $10 million to stay afloat. We also have testimony from the Citizens Utility Ratepayer Board, talking about what they're trying to do there, and also the KCC to work with the Attorney General on that. Also highlighting the fact that from the testimony Kansas Industrial Consumers Group about the work that Senator Roger Marshall has done trying to urge FERC to continue congressional hearings up there. I don't know what's the status of those congressional. I don't see Paul here. Is it still ongoing? Still ongoing with with FERC meetings, FERC investigations, and then some other testimony as well. So, committee, is there any discussion on this resolution, or is there anyone in the audience in the gallery that would like to speak who did submit testimony? Senator Olson?
I didn't submit any testimony, but I just want to comment. My son-in-law's mother was in town over the weekend. She's from San Antonio, and we were talking about that cold spell and how bad it was in San Antonio when it hit. And, it hit most of America, and especially in the Midwest. And that was, no one was prepared for it. And that's why we have what we have. And I really still believe the investigation on the people that made this money is on Wall Street, and the trading patterns that we have going on today is where largely the investigation needs to be pursued. So that's my opinion. Thank you.
Senator Francisco, did you have?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was wondering if you have had any discussions with the Attorney General's office or staff, and if it'd be interesting to hear their comments on this resolution.
I have not, and perhaps that's something we should look into a little bit. I don't know. I do know that they were considering a number of different cases, and I'm not sure what the status of those cases are at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just think since we're saying currently what the Attorney General's office is doing, I know that we may not be able to hear from FERC, but I think I would want to have the agreement of the Attorney General's office that this is indeed the action that they're taking at this time.
So noted. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion on this, if there is one.
Mr.
Senator Francisco?
I would prefer to actually have at least a day to contact the Attorney General's office before we.
Okay, let me do that. I will get in contact with them and see what the status is, and we will defer this to a later date. And maybe we'll see when we can squeeze that onto the calendar and see where they're at. With that, committee, we don't have any additional work. I might add that due to the compressed timeline we have going forward, tomorrow we are going to we're going to hear Senate Bill 478, but because of the compressed timeline, I'm going to hear the entire bill, both proponents and opponents, on the same day. So we have an opportunity to see where we go with that particular bill. With that, we have nothing else. In addition, I'll get in contact with the Attorney General and go from there. Thank you, committee. We are adjourned.